Honourable Senators, a proclamation under the Constitution. I, General the Honourable Sir Peter Cosgrove, AKMC retired, Governor-General of the Commonwealth of Australia, acting under Section 5 of the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Australia, appoint Tuesday the 30th of August 2016 at 10:30 a.m. as the day and time for the Parliament to meet at Parliament House to hold a session of the Parliament, and summon all Senators and members of the House of Representatives to meet at that day, time and place. Signed and sealed with the Great Seal of Australia on the 15th of August 2016, Peter Cosgrove, Governor-General, by His Excellency's command, Malcolm Turnbull, Prime Minister.
Honourable Senators, the Deputy of His Excellency the Governor-General and the Honourable Justice Keefe will approach the Senate chamber.
Honourable Senators, please be seated. Black Rod, please let the members of the House of Representatives know that they desire their attendance in the Senate chamber.
The usher of the black rod with a message from the Deputy appointed by His Excellency the Governor-General.
Okay. Thank you, David. Lead on, PM. Not just yet. No, not just yet. Sorry, speak to it. Right.
Honourable Members, the Deputy of His Excellency the Governor-General desires your attendance in the Senate chamber.
I go first. Come on. Across. Back. They could jump the gun. Very unhelpful. Yep. I know where to run this morning. Yeah. Where is? I was in the morning. 6:30. I said that. Like that.
Okay. Members of the Senate and members of the House of Representatives. His Excellency the Governor-General has appointed me as his deputy to declare open the Parliament of the Commonwealth. The Clerk of the Senate will now read the instrument of appointment.
Instrument of appointment of a Deputy of the Governor-General to declare open the Parliament. I, General the Honourable Sir Peter Cosgrove, AK-MC retired, Governor-General of the Commonwealth of Australia, acting under Section 126 of the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Australia and Clause 4 of the Letters Patent dated 21st of August 2008 relating to the office of Governor-General, appoint the Honourable Robert Shenton French, AC, Chief Justice of the High Court of Australia, to be my Deputy, to declare open the Parliament of the Commonwealth at the time and place appointed by the proclamation published in the Commonwealth of Australia Gazette on 16th of August 2016. Dated the 15th of August 2016, signed Peter Cosgrove, Governor-General, by His Excellency's Command, Malcolm Turnbull, Prime Minister.
Members of the Senate and members of the House of Representatives, pursuant to the instrument which the Clerk has now read, I declare open the 45th Parliament of the Commonwealth. His Excellency the Governor-General has commanded me to let you know that after members of the Senate and members of the House of Representatives have been sworn, the Governor-General will declare in person at this place the causes of his calling the Parliament together. It is also necessary that a President of the Senate and a Speaker of the House of Representatives be chosen. Therefore, you, members of the House of Representatives, will now return to the House of Representatives and choose a person to be your Speaker. And you, members of the Senate, will proceed to choose a person to be your President. Later today, you will present the persons you have chosen to the Governor-General. The Honourable Justice Kiefel will now attend in the House of Representatives for the purpose of administering the oath or affirmation of allegiance to honourable members of that House. Would senators please resume their seats?
They're very undecided.
Honourable Senators, His Excellency the Governor-General has authorised me to administer the oath or affirmation of allegiance to honourable senators elected on the 2nd of July 2016, as required by Section 42 of the Constitution. The Clerk of the Senate will now read the commission.
Authority to administer the oath or affirmation of allegiance to senators. I, General the Honourable Sir Peter Cosgrove, AKMC retired, Governor-General of the Commonwealth of Australia, acting under Section 42 of the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Australia, authorise the Honourable Robert Shenton French, AC, Chief Justice of the High Court of Australia, to administer the oath or affirmation of allegiance to senators, dated the 15th of August 2016, signed Peter Cosgrove, Governor-General, by His Excellency's Command Malcolm Turnbull, Prime Minister.
I call the Clerk to table the certificates of election.
I lay on the table the certificates of election of senators elected on the 2nd of July 2016.
Will honourable senators please come to the table as their names are called by the Clerk to make and subscribe the oath or affirmation of allegiance. I call the Clerk.
Will the following senators representing the state of New South Wales please come to either side of the table with your oath or affirmation card and Bible? Maurice Payne, Sam Dastiari, Arthur Sinodinos, Jenny McAllister, Fiona Nash, Deborah O'Neill, Concetta Fierravanti-Wells, Doug Cameron, Lee Rhiannon, John Williams, Brian Burston, David Lionholm. Will those senators making oaths please take the Bible in your right hand? Will all senators please recite the oath or affirmation of allegiance now?
I, John Williams, do swear that I will be faithful and true allegiance to Her Majesty, Prime Minister of the heirs and successors according to law, so help me God. According to law.
Will honourable senators please sign the test roll and the senator's roll? Will the following senators representing the state of Queensland please come to either side of the table with your oath or affirmation card and Bible? George Brandis, Murray Watt, Pauline Hanson, Matthew Canavan, Anthony Chisholm, James McGrath, Claire Moore, Ian MacDonald, Larissa Waters, Barry O'Sullivan, Chris Ketter, Malcolm Roberts. Will those senators making oaths please take the Bible in your right hand? Will all senators please recite the oath or affirmation of allegiance now?
Do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Crown Majesty of Elizabeth II, their heirs and successors according to law, so help me God.
Will honourable senators please sign the test roll and the senator's roll? Will the following senators representing the state of South Australia please come to either side of the table with your oath or affirmation card and Bible? Simon Birmingham, Penny Wong, Nick Xenophon, Corey Bernardi, Don Farrell, Sterling Griff, Anne Ruston, Alex Gallagher, David Fawcett, Skye Kokoski-Moore, Sarah Hanson-Young, Bob Day. Will those senators making oaths please take the Bible in your right hand? Will all senators please recite the oath or affirmation of allegiance now? Will honourable senators please sign the test roll and the senator's roll? Will the following senators representing the state of Tasmania please come to either side of the table with your oath or affirmation card and Bible? Eric Abetz, Anne Urquhart, Peter Wish-Wilson, Jackie Lambie, Stephen Parry, Helen Polly, Jonathan Dunniam, Carol Brown, David Bushby, Lisa Singh, Katrina Billick, Nick McKim. Will those senators making oaths please take the Bible in your right hand? Will all senators please recite the oath or affirmation of allegiance now? Will honourable senators please sign the test roll and the senator's roll? Will the following senators representing the state of Victoria please come to either side of the table with your oath or affirmation card and Bible? Mitch Fifield, Kim Carr, Richard Di Natale, Bridget McKenzie, Stephen Conroy, Jacinta Collins, James Patterson, Gavin Marshall, Darren Hinch, Janet Rice, and Jane Hume. I also inform the Senate that Senator Ryan is unavoidably absent for personal reasons today. Will those senators making oaths please take the Bible in your right hand? Will all senators please recite the oath or affirmation now? Will honourable senators please sign the test roll and the senator's roll? Will the following senators representing the state of Western Australia please come to either side of the table with your oath or affirmation card and Bible? Matthias Cormann, Sue Lines, Scott Ludlam, Michaelia Cash, Glenn Stirl, Dean Smith, Patrick Dodson, Linda Reynolds, Chris Back, Louise Pratt, Rodney Cullerton, Rachel Sewett. Will those senators making oaths please take the Bible in your right hand? Will all senators please recite the oath or affirmation of allegiance now? Will honourable senators please sign the test roll and the senator's roll? Will the following senators please come to the table? Representing the Australian Capital Territory, Katie Gallagher, Zed Seselja. Representing the Northern Territory, Malandiri McCarthy, Nigel Scullion. Will those senators making oaths please take the Bible in your right hand? Will all senators please recite the oath or affirmation of allegiance now?
I, Stanko Seselja, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs and successors according to law. So help me God.
Will honourable senators please sign the test roll and the senator's roll?
Which page is that? Sorry. That's it? Cool. Thank you.
Clerk, I remind the Senate that the time has come when it is necessary for the Senate to choose one of its members to be President. I propose to the Senate for its President, Senator Parry, and I move that Senator Parry do take the chair of this Senate as President.
Are there any further nominations? There being no further nominations, order, Senators. There being no further nominations, Senator Parry is elected President of the Senate in accordance with the standing orders.
I'm back, Stephen. Senators, thank you. I really appreciate and I'm deeply humbled by the confidence shown in me, especially being elected unopposed, so thank you very much. I intend to continue my presidency as I did the previous 2 years. I'm a fierce fighter for the independence of the Senate and the independence of the Parliament from the Executive, but also acknowledging the Executive has a role to perform and the Parliament should assist that Executive. Equally, I'll try and impose the discipline on the chamber, as I have in the past, in a fair-handed manner. And I do expect that the Senate will respond in likewise. And let's show the Australian public that we can be a respectful place of debate, of intelligent debate, and pass legislation and debate legislation in a very constructive manner, even though there will be differences from time to time, I'm sure. Could I also suggest to the Senate that as senators think about the formation of committees, in particular additional committees, we do consider the workload of the Senate staff, of the institution of the Senate, so we don't have too many committee hearings, too many committee reports and devalue the workload of the Senate. We have a high reputation around the world for the way that the Senate does handle committee work and the deliberations and the findings of many of those committee reports. Equally, I think senators should also realise that senators have a finite capacity in which to serve on these committees and to attend hearings and travel to various parts of Australia to undertake that work. So I just do ask senators to be cognisant of that particular workload. And finally, I'm here as a friend and as a confidant. If you need to speak to me about anything, if you need assistance, in particular, I direct those remarks to newer senators. I'm here in a very impartial way, a confidential way, to assist you as senators perform your roles. And I want to make sure that this Senate remains a fine institution, and I will be your servant to that end. Thank you. Senator Brandis.
Mr President, on behalf of government senators, and I dare say, I may say on behalf of all senators, might I congratulate you on your re-election to the office of President of the Senate. It speaks volumes of the very high regard in which you are held in this chamber that you were re-elected unopposed. Senator Parry, you have served the Senate since you were first elected as a Senator for Tasmania in 2004. You were the Deputy President of the Senate for 3 years before your first term as President, which began on the 7th of July 2014. In that term as President, you demonstrated two of the great qualities of a presiding officer. You were firm, but you were fair. And in the past 3 years, you won the respect of all in this chamber for the even-handed and firm manner in which you conducted your office. You have been a good President, Mr President, and I predict that in your second term as President of the Senate, you will rise to become a great President, one of the great Presidents of the Senate.
Thank you, Senator Brandis. Senator Wong.
Thank you, Mr President. On behalf of the opposition, I congratulate you on your election or your re-election as President. We acknowledge and respect your commitment to and willingness to defend the independence of this institution, the Senate. We look forward to your good judgment, your fairness and, on occasion, your forbearance. We wish you well.
Thank you, Senator Wong. Thank you. The sitting of the Senate is suspended until 2:25 p.m.
The next item of business is the election of a Speaker. Is there a nomination for Speaker? I call the member for Deakin.
Mr Clerk, I move that the honourable member for Casey do take the chair of this House as Speaker. It really is a true honour to nominate a most distinguished and respected member of our parliament, the member for Casey, as the Speaker of the House of Representatives in the 45th Parliament of Australia. As members of this House are aware, the member for Casey has given many years of dedicated service to his electorate and this House in a number of different capacities. As my electoral neighbour, I've had the absolute privilege of working closely with the member for Casey, and in doing so I've seen firsthand the outstanding work that he has done representing his people of Casey.
Old habits die hard. Old habits.
We have had some redistributions. Importantly, though, away from his electorate, as the Speaker in the previous parliament, the member for Casey demonstrated that he understands the robust nature of this House, respecting its traditions and conventions, but also applying a sensible practicality which ensured its smooth operation. As Speaker, we also saw how scrupulously fair and impartial he was in the chair. And that impartiality was most obviously demonstrated to me when the member for Casey in the chair rejected me for the House, the first on the government side, just 3 days after I first nominated him as Speaker the first time around. I really hope there's no repeat of that this week. So in my view, and in the view of many in this House, there's no one in this parliament who's more qualified or deserving of the speakership than the member for Casey, who I know will bring to the House the experience and the stability that this parliament will require. It's therefore an honour to nominate Tony Smith, the member for Casey, as Speaker. Yeah. Got there in the end.
Is the nomination seconded? Call the member for Robertson.
Mr Clerk, it's an absolute honour to be able to second the nomination of the member for Casey as Speaker of this House. We know that it's a responsibility of each of us here to contribute to making this parliament a better place. And in fact, I think the people of Australia believe that and know that they expect no less. But since he was first elected as Speaker around 12 months ago, the member for Casey has done this in a most exemplary manner. He's served our parliament and our nation with dignity, and he's earned the esteem of members from right across the chamber. He's used his considerable political experience to uphold the traditions of this place, and he's presided over the business of the House in a way that has elevated the tone of the chamber, as well as the respect in which this place is held. He's served in many capacities as an outstanding community representative for the people of Casey, as a chair of various standing committees in the parliament, as a parliamentary secretary and a shadow minister, and as a mentor, leader and friend to many. He's somebody who has a great love of history and a deep appreciation and understanding of the importance of civics education in our society, especially for our next generations. And I know that this place, and indeed our nation, will be better served with a member for Casey as Speaker. In fact, it was his chairmanship of the Joint Standing Committee on Electoral Matters, and particularly the inquiry into electoral education, that I'm sure in part led the member for Casey to travel to different electorates, including more recently Robertson and Grayndler, to share the importance of our parliamentary and democratic history with school students. I recall his words while addressing a debate about democracy at the Carryong Mountains High School, where the speaker shared that when you understand our democratic history, you then understand our democratic destiny. And from there, he went on to say, you also have a better understanding of your own ability to have a say and to participate in our democratic and political processes. And so I thank the member for Casey for both his service and his leadership. Mr Clerk, I know that he will continue to preside over the business of this House without fear or favour, while also continuing to promote and uphold the importance of our democratic traditions and our processes for the governance and for the future of this great nation. I commend the member for Casey's nomination to the House.
Yeah. Does the member for Casey accept the nomination?
I accept.
Is there any further proposal? The time for proposals having expired, I declare the honourable member for Casey duly elected as Speaker.
I wish to express my grateful thanks for the high honour the House has been pleased to confer upon me. I call the Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, and on behalf of the government, the warmest congratulations on your elevation or your re-elevation to the great office of Speaker of the House of Representatives. You have conducted this vitally important office with elegance, intellect, dignity, charm, impartiality. This is a very robust chamber, as we all know, and sometimes in question time, even people that are naturally very reasonable will become unreasonable and even intemperate. But you, sir, have risen above that, and you project a calm that reflects so well on our House and so well on our democracy. And you've demonstrated that as Speaker in the last Parliament, and it's a great achievement that you've done that, because all of us understand that we come into politics as advocates, making a strong case for our principles, for our constituents, being prepared to take on arguments with force and sometimes with ferocity. And so to translate from that role to one of calm equanimity, impartiality, yet nonetheless authority, is a really profound transition. And you've achieved that, Mr Speaker. You've reflected so well on our democracy, so well on our House, and we, from the government, are so delighted that you have once again consented to be the Speaker of the House of Representatives. Congratulations, and of course to Pam and your family, without whose support we know you would not be able to perform your high office.
Thank the Prime Minister. The Leader of the Opposition.
Mr Speaker, congratulations on your re-election to one of the oldest and most important offices in our representative democracy, and congratulations to Pam and your family for the support which they provide you. On behalf of the opposition, can I say how pleased we were to support you for your role. In your time in the chair, you did earn the respect of both sides of the chamber. You've often been firm, but always fair. Your efforts to be even-handed have gone a long way, I believe, to improving the accountability, the productivity, the civility of this place. Of course, all of us who speak in this chamber are only part-time residents of the Parliament. The beginning of the 45th Parliament, Mr Speaker, is an appropriate time for us to pay tribute to all of those who call this grand building home. The army of clerks and attendants, the cleaners and the caterers, the librarians and even the baristas, the security guards and the drafting officers who work tirelessly behind the scenes. As we strut and fret upon this stage, they are behind the curtain, keeping the show running smoothly. Now, Mr Speaker, also today we note the absence of some familiar faces, old friends and colleagues. But we also welcome 37 new members to the House of Representatives who will experience your leadership as Speaker, and we congratulate the members for Hindmarsh and Eden Monero on their return. And I'm pleased, looking out from the dispatch box for the first time in this 45th Parliament, I'm pleased that the Labor Party takes up more room than we did before. I'm also pleased now that there are more women in the chamber. The member for Barton becomes the first Indigenous woman to sit in the House of Representatives, and the member for Cowan the first Muslim woman. Indeed, I'm proud to say that Labor has more women members and senators than any time in the history of Federation. Improving the mix of experience and backgrounds and faiths in this House can only help make our Parliament a more representative and more inclusive place. And on that positive note, I inform honourable members that I've written to the Prime Minister seeking his support for a motion, reaffirming this House's commitment to the right of all Australians to enjoy equal rights and be treated with equal respect regardless of race, colour, creed or origin, consistent with the Speaker's values. Prime Minister John Howard and Opposition Leader Kim Beazley cooperated to support an identical resolution in 1996, and I believe this would be a powerful and bipartisan note to strike at the beginning of this term. Mr Speaker, let this spirit of cooperation, this spirit of diversity and respect guide us all in the sitting days ahead.
Thank the Leader of the Opposition. The Deputy Prime Minister.
Well, thank you very much, Mr Speaker, and I'd like to concur with the remarks the
partisan and bipartisan remarks of both the Leader of the Opposition and the Prime Minister. I want to convey the best of will to you in the conduct of your duties, to also acknowledge the work that Pam does and your family in supporting you in that role. It is a fact that so many people actually do watch Parliament, and they see this as a reflection of their nation, and as such they expect there to be, as it is an adversarial chamber, the heat of debate, but they expect it to be conducted in such a way that they would feel proud to show it to their children. I know at times we're a little bit shy of that, and it's your job to do your very best to keep this as a vibrant house, as a house that challenges ideas, as a house that puts people under pressure, because if you're not good under pressure, you're probably not going to be good at doing your job, but also that it's conducted in such a way as people remain with their dignity, and those who watch it believe that the person they voted for was worthy of their vote. Mr. Speaker, I'm looking forward to the election of your deputy, and I note the great aspirations that we have for a person of the calibre of Mark Colton to ably assist you in that job. And till that such time, I wish you all the best.
I thank the Deputy Prime Minister. The Deputy Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and congratulations to you on your reappointment in the role that all of us respect and admire so much. You've been a wonderful Speaker, perhaps benefiting by comparison with your predecessor. We've appreciated very much your ability to guide the Parliament to a respectful tone of debate. Winston Churchill said that democracy was the worst form of government except for all the others, and I think it really does take someone who loves our democracy, who loves our Westminster system and our Westminster traditions, to do your job well. And I see that love in you, a respect for our traditions, a respect for the rules that we all abide by, and I wish you all the very best in this term as well.
I thank the Deputy Leader of the Opposition. The Leader of the House.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and I congratulate you on your re-election as Speaker of the House in the 45th Parliament. As you know, I've known you for about 30 years. It's now getting on far too long to even mention it anymore. And we've been through a great deal together. I do concur with the remarks from both sides of the House that you have been a very fair and reasonable Speaker, and I think that makes the whole Parliament work much better. This is my 23rd year in the Parliament, and sometimes I've been on the House of the Leader of the Opposition side of the House, sometimes on this side of the House, and I've always tried to cooperate with all members to try and bring about a happier Parliament, a better Parliament. What's wrong? What are you talking about? But, Mr. Speaker, on a more serious note, I do know about both sides of the House and how they operate, and having a strong Speaker who tries to be fair to both sides and keep the standing orders makes the Parliament work better, it makes it look better, and I think the public appreciate it. And you've done that in the 12 months that you've been, or almost 12 months that you've been the Speaker. I think in the years ahead you'll go down as one of the great Speakers of the House of Representatives, and I look forward to working with you again over the next 3 years as Leader of the House.
Thank the Leader of the House. The Manager of Opposition Business.
Thanks very much, Mr. Speaker. Congratulations, whether it is, as the Leader of the House said, for 3 years or for a different period for this Parliament. But we congratulate you, and I want to note the fact that you were elected unopposed was deliberate. The opposition from time to time does put forward candidates. We did it on this situation quite deliberately. Since you took the chair, it is fair to say that the debate that's gone on in this chamber has been about the issues before the Parliament rather than the procedure of the Parliament. And that's exactly what the chamber's here for, and you have facilitated that. It will also, as well as managing the House, fall to you, given issues that are already running, to also have the role of the Speaker as someone defending the privileges of the Parliament. And we certainly trust that this House will defend parliamentary privilege as robustly as the other place does. Finally, the Leader of the Opposition in his comments made a reference to Macbeth, with the struts and frets lines in terms of the players here. There's something eerily familiar that's been following for the second term of this government. And Shakespeare's tragedies run for 5 acts, so we can start this term by saying, Mr Speaker, welcome to Act 4, and we look forward to it unfolding.
The member for Melbourne. Yeah, Mr Speaker, congratulations on your re-election. When you were elected last time, one of the requests that I made, and I think a number of the members of the crossbench made, was that when you look to the left and to the right, also look down the middle. Now, I want to thank you for doing so, and when you do so in this parliament, you might look down the middle. You might not always be looking at the sensible centre, but you will see a number of people. You will be seeing a number of people who represent a very, very high number of people who voted at this election for third parties or for independents. And in this parliament, we do hope that our voices continue to be heard, and we suspect that where there may be many, many close votes, that you always do remember that there are not just two sides to this parliament, but a number of people sitting down on the crossbenches as well.
I thank the member for Melbourne, and I thank all of the previous speakers, led by the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition, for your generous remarks. Can I thank all of you for electing me as your Speaker in this 45th Parliament. It's truly a special honour to be chosen by you as Speaker, and especially so to be chosen unanimously, as the Leader of the Opposition referred to. To have the unanimous support of the House is not just a welcome endorsement, it is an important reminder that as Speaker, I am Speaker of the House of Representatives, but also Speaker for the House of Representatives, and that is for you, the members of the House of Representatives. And I'm always mindful of that as I discharge my duties. I was in the last parliament, and I will be in this as well. When I was elected just over a year ago, I pledged to do all I could to deliver a better parliament, to be as fair as I could in exercising my duties and responsibilities, to strongly defend the contest of ideas and ideals, a contest that should be vigorous and at times will be willing. I also said it didn't need to be as loud or rude, and on some occasions it is, and that does demoralise the public. We all know that. So in this 45th Parliament, can I say at the outset, I welcome the kind words, but it's my job never to be satisfied. And I'll be doing everything I can to improve standards further, and of course each and every one of the 150 of us has a responsibility in that regard. I think whether you represent a party or whether you're an independent, whether your electorate is inner urban or outer suburban or regional or rural or remote, none of the 150 of us can say that our constituents are satisfied with parliamentary standards as they are. We owe it to them to do more to improve things, and I'll have more to say that not today, but on another day. But let me conclude my remarks on this first day of the 45th Parliament by congratulating each and every one of you on your election. As the Leader of the Opposition indicated, there are 37 members who have just been elected for the first time, 2 returning, and 111 of us who have been re-elected. It is a rare honour indeed to be a member of the House of Representatives. Less than 1,200 people have had that honour since Federation, and on this first day of the 45th Parliament, let's remember that. Thank you very much. The Prime Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. I've ascertained that it will be His Excellency the Governor-General's pleasure to receive you, Mr Speaker, in the Members' Hall immediately after the resumption of sittings at 2:40 p.m.
I thank the Prime Minister. Prior to my presentation to His Excellency this afternoon, the bells will ring for 5 minutes so that honourable members may attend in the chamber and accompany me to Members' Hall. And the sitting is suspended until 2:40 p.m.